I grew up in Florida.
What part of Florida?
Tampa. My first concert was a Beach Boys concert.
Oh, let's talk about that. Where's I there? Where was it?
Oh, wait. I wouldn't be shocked. It was with Whitney Houston at Tampa Stadium.
Oh, I don't know. What year? In the 90s or something?
It had to be...
We should call Mike Love. You called your dad. Should we want to call? Well, let me see where they're at.
The Beach Boys is a band, and I will say this, and that if you're listening to this, you're sleeping on. Meaning, you don't realize the brilliance of their music. When people think of the Beach Boys, they think little old lady from Pasadena.
Well, that was Jen and Dean. But.
Right. Or no, was it really?
Yeah. You think of like
you're thinking of
USA.
Little Deuce Coupe.
Yeah.
You don't know what I mean.
Right.
That's what they think is when they think of Beach Boys. What they don't think is Good Vibrations is one of the most beautiful songs.
God Only Knows.
God Only Knows.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Holy fuck. So like, I went through a huge Beach Boys phase.
Really?
Where I was just like, sometimes it takes listening to a song on a plane to get you in it. And I was pretty hammered on a plane.
Really?
I was listening to Wilco.
I've never done.
And I don't know. It's just
on a plane.
Like on a plane, and because you can't move, and you're forced to be in the moment, in the music, and
what came up? Pet Sounds.
It had to be. I'll tell you. No, the Sloot
John B. Yeah, that was Pet Sounds.
What a fucking song,
right?
What a fucking song. And you're just sitting there going, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I think you were responsible for the movie about the Beach Boys.
On
ABC, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had seen that. And then you start realizing the depth of the characters. And you realize that I would say almost like the Jackson 5, they had a father who was a little overbearing.
Right. A little. He was abusive.
He was horrific, apparently.
Yeah. Very jealous, He wanted to be a singer and stuff. Murray.
But I am, and then right after that, I heard Jeff Tweedy talking about doing a show with Brian Wilson, and Brian Wilson was like saying very casually, like innocently, "Hey, how many people do you think are in here?" And Jeff Tweedy was like, "Wait," but they're very same souls, like very artistic souls.
Right.
Brian Wilson, just a fucking beautiful
genius
soul.
Yeah, they it's the highlight of my, next to my kid and my wife. And it's still going. I started it was right after Terry Copley and Tony Danza, and my friend was playing guitar with them, and he said, "Why don't you come to the show in San Diego? I'll introduce you to the guys if I can." And oh, great, I'll cheer you up. And it was at a baseball stadium, baseball, Jack Murphy Stadium or something. Mm-hmm. And they said, as soon as you hear fun, come backstage because they're going to go off for an encore. They're there for like 5 minutes and they'll go back on and play Barbara, and then they'll leave. You won't see them again. I said, okay. So I got on fun. I'm watching. I got on the field. I asked somebody, where's it? Then I hear these girls screaming. I said, oh shit, what's going on over there? Oh fuck, it's me. And they were like all these 30, 40 cheerleaders start chasing me on the field. And I'm running, and I like an asshole. I start running the bases like an idiot. And the jumbotron there, I'm like, I got Jordache jeans on, and my hair was all feathered like a dead crow. And I'm running, and I just make it backstage. The door slams, the girls are screaming, banging on the doors, and I'm like, out of breath. And all five of them just turned. The whole room's silent, and they turn and look at me and like, what the fuck? And I'm like, They gave me a look like I was the weirdest, and they hung out with Manson. Like I was, that's how bad. And I was like, my heroes, I finally met him. But Mike Love says, who's that? And my friend Jeff says, it's John Stamos. He's a drummer, great drummer. Oh, yeah? And he's on General Hospital. He says, do girls scream for him like that all the time? And he said, yeah. He goes, get him on stage. And I got up and played Barbara Ann, and it was like, I don't know. I'm sure you've had those moments if you would have told me moments. But like, but more, I felt like it was boom, man. I was like, fucking this, I don't ever want this to end. It was like the best sex.
What's the name? It's the name of your book. If you would have told me, I felt that entirely. I felt that a number of times in my life.
I came up with that because one day Mike Love was calling me, and I wasn't answering the phone. I was like, if you would have told me when I was a kid, the first concert I ever saw with the Beach Boys. And then it just went on from there. The first time I really played with them full show was on the 4th of July in 1985. I sort of talked about it in there where it was a trip. I get to D.C. They would do two shows on the 4th. One in Philadelphia. It was 1 million people. And one in D.C. that night, 750,000 people. And I get there, and my friend Jeff says, come on, we got to go teach Jimmy what songs we're doing. I said, Jimmy who? Jimmy Page. We had the biggest suite I've ever seen in my life at the Watergate. and we had to go teach Jimmy Page what songs he was doing and what keys they were in. And I get there. He has got this biggest bottle of Jack Daniels, and he offers it. Want some? I was like, "Oh no, thank you, Mr. P. May I have a light beer, please?" And he slinks away. And then my friend slinks away, and I'm in this hotel room by myself, looking around, like, "What the fuck? How did I get here?" If you would have told me. And there were two Anvil cases on the other side of the room, and they were kind of together, but there was an opening like this, and I'll never forget it, like a tie-dyed sheet over it. And I sit next to it. I was in this big couch, engulfs me. And all of a sudden, like a goth cuckoo clock, this girl pops out in between the cases, sees me, goes, "Fuck!" And I go, "Fuck!" And she goes back in the thing. I swear to God. And I'm like, "What?" And then Jimmy Page comes up with a light beer, and I'm like, Did you? Nah, man. So he sits next to me, and he says, "What song is it?" I said, "You probably play Barbara Ann. That's okay. What key is it in? F sharp." "I got fucking solo in F sharp," yelling at me. Like, what else? I think, "Help Me, Rhonda." "What key?" I'm like, "C sharp." "I got fucking solo." And that was the beginning of it all, and it's been an incredible ride.
Well, everything has been like insane. It's almost like your first day on General Hospital was the Rick Springfield. Did you ever get to hang out with Rick Springfield?
Well, he didn't like, no.
Yeah, he didn't like you.
Well, he did, as I look back, all this stuff you kind of look back on and go, well, I get it. He wanted out of there, and he was a big star at the time.
He didn't have. It seemed like I did a little Googling. It seemed like, hey, by the way, shout out to Rick Springfield. I've sat next to his people at bars.
Yeah.
I had a period where we were on the exact same tour wherever I was going. Rick Springfield was going, so he was on like 5 of my flights. Like we were always on the same flights.
Was he a coach?
But I did no. We both sat first class.
I love him.
But his fame coincided with General Hospital.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it I think it made him, right. And
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is that one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever is Alfred Molina in Boogie Nights when he's playing and he's the Asian guy's doing fireworks and he's doing smoking crack and he goes, "Ricky Springfield, he's a friend of mine." I love that moment. That's my favorite scene in any moment.
And how about God Only Knows the usage of that in that movie, where the guy was in prison for the pedophilia stuff, and they just slowly, it was one long take. God only knows what. That song is a perfect song.
What song do you what if you had to have a Beach Boys song played at your funeral? What would it be?
Well, that's a terrible question.
I have.
I don't give a fuck. I'll be dead. I mean,
I think about my funeral all the time.
You do? How are you gonna die?
Fucking time.
How are you gonna die?
Late. I'm gonna be one of the last ones.
You're gonna
alive.
go, yeah. Like 90s, 100s, maybe.
I'll be 89, but everyone else will be dead.
Yeah. It's get lonely.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.